What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us today and for your support. My name is Money Boss. Today we are talking about Tectonic Finance, the largest money market on Cronos. Taking a look at several catalysts and how much money you stand to make as a Tectonic holder. But before I get into the video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button for me and subscribe to the channel. And I want to give a huge shout out to Unstoppable Domains for sponsoring today's video. Now Unstoppable allows you to send and receive cryptocurrency through the use of the domain. In the early days of the internet, people made millions. Domain names, and I see history repeating itself with blockchain domains. Think about it. Instead of sending your money to some unreadable address, Tesla could accept payment via Tesla.crypto. Guys, I am hugely bullish on these domains. I have already bought several with the intention of flipping them in the future. I'm going to go ahead and toss the link in the description just in case you are so inclined. Go ahead and make yourself some money with Unstoppable. Alright, so for everybody that is already familiar with Tonic, I'm asking you to bear with me for just a moment. I'm gonna get everybody up to speed. Tonic is Tectonic Finance, a money market company and the largest money market on Cronos. Their hope is to create a tectonic shift in lending and borrowing, in that you can use your cryptocurrency, the existing coins that you hold, as collateral for short-term or long-term loans at relatively reasonable rates. So that way you don't have to sell them and pay taxes, and also are able to hold on to all of the money that you already hold. So if the price appreciates, because right now we're heading into a bull market, you do know that prices are going to rise. You are not losing out on the opportunity because the money is already yours now. In the very beginning of their launch, about a week afterwards, as of December 29th, they had already done massive numbers. Their total supply was 500 million, total borrow was 314 million, and they had already become the biggest money market on Cronos chain. Since then they have about $800 million available to borrow. $500 million in loans have been loaned out. There are some changes coming to these numbers that we'll be talking about in just a moment. But because of this, Tonic has absolutely exploded, and we will be seeing some amazing things coming from them into the very near future. Now what I want to focus most of this video on is specifically how much money you stand to make. If you are a current Tonic holder, if you bought Tonic at the beginning, or if you have not yet purchased Tonic, now say towards the beginning you put $1,000 into Tonic. That is about 2.5 billion Tonic in total. If you rode it to the all-time high, you would have already almost 5x your money. We are around the current, which is just under the 5x. We're about the 4x mark right now. So if you had started the beginning then sold, you would have made about $4,769.21 on your initial investment. Sitting on February 11th, we are sitting at about $4,066.38, meaning that if you had bought at the beginning and sold today, you would still be up over $3,000 in total. There are some key stats we do need to take a look at before we jump into the chart. The market cap is only about $23 million as of right now. We are well within the top 1,000 projects. Under 900 and 898. Our all-time low is about 6 zeros and 1.40, and our all-time high is about 5 zeros. 0.19 circulating supply is lower in terms of what we've seen on some of these other projects, with about 13.7 trillion in total. Although there are a very significant number of coins that will be available into the future. Now there is a huge opportunity as of right now, even if you have not yet bought in, because of where the market cap of this project could potentially go. We have a couple of comparable projects as well as a Bitcoin analysis, because we have to do that now. Taking a look at AVE, it currently has a market cap of about $2.47 billion. Compared to the 22.3 million that we see on Tonic, it is the 61st largest cryptocurrency by market cap. Tonic's potential upside is $112,000. Taking that 112 and multiplying it from where we are sitting today, that means your initial $1,000 investment would be worth almost half, $1 million in total, just in a certain period of time as they continue to grow. Another major one, CL currently has a market cap of $1.49 billion. It is the 82nd cryptocurrency by market cap. Tonic's potential upside is 68x. Now these are both projects that are comparable to Tonic, and you could hypothetically see it reaching this market cap as they continue to capture more of the money market share that is already out there. Even just sitting at the 82nd largest project, you will be sitting at nearly $250,000 in total. Now this one hurts me because if you've watched this channel, you know that I almost bought Bitcoin at 1,000, Bitcoin at $1 when I was in college. I am not saying that I would have held it until today. Chances are human psychology would have gotten the better of me. But if you had put $1,000 in towards the beginning of Tonic and you held it to a Bitcoin style, market cap at $859 billion, and looking at how the general market is swelling, something like this down the line is entirely possible. You would have $158,771,703.03, guys. This is once again a very early stage project. We are less than 2 months in at this point and we have already seen massive gains. We have people that have already 5x their money at this point. So I do think that it is reasonable to say going into the future this is possible, especially as market cap continues to grow with the number of projects on Cronos chain, including Tectonic Finance versus Crypto.com and the entire crypto work ecosystem. I do believe that this is one of the next big phases in the cryptocurrency world. As we continue to move into the future, I highly expect that this could be a 100 and 201,000x coin, assuming that people continue to use the system as it is meant to work, because I do believe that it provides incredible value and the fundamentals of the company are there. Crypto.com is growing at a massive rate, and with this, Cronos will grow as well. So being the largest money market on Cronos, especially going into the future, will be a major bullish catalyst for Tectonic. No, I do want to talk about something that they just announced yesterday. On February 10th, the collateral factor is going to be progressively reduced every day until it reaches 20% starting on February 14th. If you have borrowed against Tonic collateral, your account LTV should be well below your liquidation LTV to avoid liquidation. So taking a look here as well at what this means, LTV is loan to value. It as a financial term used by lenders to express the ratio of a loan to the value of the collateral. Otherwise said, the measurement of the balance of the loan relatively the value of the collateral. The asset is represented as loan to value. Now it is calculated as the loan amount in USD or Antonic divided by the collateral in USD or Antonic represented by a percentage. So if we're at 20%, that does mean that if you are borrowing $2,000 in the marketplace, you need to have $10,000 worth of collateral because of the volatility that exists in the marketplace. If you are borrowing the $100,000, you need $500,000 in collateral. But that also means that if you are trying to borrow something like $20, you only need $100 in collateral, which is interesting, especially given the fact that these are short-term or generally low-interest loans that will be very valuable for smaller countries and things like that. Given how volatile the market is, I do understand why they are doing this. However, it is going to be very interesting to see how this affects the market going into the future, but I do expect many of these other crypto money market companies are doing this as well. Jumping over to the chart, it does look like we are seeing a couple of very interesting things here in the last 24 hours. Trading volume is about $8.41 million in total. As I mentioned, we're about $13.8 trillion in circulating supply out of $500 trillion in total. So of course there will be some price variances going into the future. Market cap just over 22 million. Fully diluted valuation is just over $797 million, total value lot $293.3 million, and fully diluted valuation to TFL ratio is 2.72. Taking a look at the chart, it has moved down on the day. We have seen quite a few of the cryptocurrencies of the market moving down. We can take a look at that in just a moment. However, we are still sitting at number 894 in terms of market cap. We are up 300.5% from our all-time low 17 days ago, which means that 17 days ago had you bought $1,000 worth of tonic, about 2 days ago you could have sold it for $5,000. This is how much this coin has moved, especially faster than BS Finance. We are down about 16.2% from our all-time high just 2 days ago, taking a look at the broader crypto market. Rinto market Bitcoin has fallen below 44,000 once again. 43,892 still up 18.7% on the week but down 1.15 on the day. Ethereum sitting strong above 3,000. The hope is that they do not break below there. One of the best ways that we can take a look at the general direction of the market is by taking a look at these stable coins. Anytime they are in the red and looks like quite a bit is in the red, we do have more bearish sentiment. I do expect this to be a short-term phenomenon as people start to realize that they are dropping to a price that they are able to jump back in. We have whales jumping in all over the place at different things. We had a Shiba Inu whale buy over $100 million worth just a few hours ago, so it is looking relatively positive moving into the future, especially with the projections of Bitcoin capping over $200,000 per coin this year and Ethereum over $12,000. I do expect a majority of the market to 4x, including VS and ToolingCrypto.com and especially including Tonic. Given the fact that they do have such great technical fundamentals, we will be moving into the future in a very strong way, and as long as they keep doing business, I will keep buying anyways. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you again so much for joining us. Please make sure to smash that thumbs up button for me and subscribe to the channel while you are down there. Make sure to check out Unstoppable Domains. I am Matt Stoner. Thank you so much and we'll see you next time.